Hey guys, my name is Jay, and really I'm just a guy with a Bible, and wanted to speak a little bit, just to say first thank you for all the encouragement and kind words that I received in the last series I did called The Bible Doesn't Say That. There's probably a whole lot more that I could have done, but I had something a little more pressing weighing in on my heart in regards to where to go with what I started with those series of videos. And this not little thing, but this big thing that's been on my heart has actually been the product of an experience in my Christian walk for several years. See, as a follower of Christ and over my time as being such, I've had the benefit of pursuing higher education in the Christian realm and in the Christian university, and had the opportunity to receive a bachelor's and then went on and got a master's. And I remember a conversation I had after walking the aisle in the ceremony to receive my diploma at the bachelor's level with one of my great mentors. He's a great man of faith, world-renowned scholar, pastor, teacher, just an unbelievable man. But he looked at me after the 4 years of study to receive my bachelor's, and he asked me this simple question. He said, "At the end of your experience here at this seminary, did all that you learned result in a greater love for Jesus?" And I stopped for a moment and looked at him and said, "Absolutely." And he pumped his fist in the air and he rejoiced real loud. He said, "Yes, the seminary has not let you down." And so those words kind of, they really resonated in my heart and kind of hung with me throughout my entire Christian faith and journey since then. And the more I thought about it, the more I began to realize that at the end of the day, I spent about 7 years and 7 years worth of tuition and time studying the Bible. Now, don't get me wrong. I am a supporter of Christian universities, and I love what they do. I love what they have to offer. But it kind of got me to thinking a little bit why it was that I had to pay all that tuition money to study what God had given us for free. And in particular, this course that I had to take that was, I guess 9-10 semesters long, was called a course in Christian theology. And here is just one of the textbooks that I had to have for those courses. And what it was just a guided learning experience in this topic called theology. And ultimately, by definition, theology is, from a Christian perspective, the study of the nature, purposes, and plans of God. So let me say that again. Theology is, from a Christian perspective, the study of the nature, purposes, and plans of God. So in other words, it was a exercise in researching and studying what God had given us for free to understand more about Him and His plans and His purposes for the world in general, our lives in particular. And I'll admit, at the end of the day, as I learned this, and I look back, it certainly increased my great love for Him and His plans and His purposes, because the more I understood about Him and His purposes, the more overwhelmed I became with His grace, love, and mercy shown toward me. And as I took all those experiences and kind of put them together, I began to think of why I had to go to a university to pay to learn what God has given us, and that is Himself and His Word, for free. And so as I thought about that, I thought, well, maybe my passion to teach that that topic, that theology, if you will, maybe I should try to become a professor in a university. I could have put in an application any day, but then I just never did, because I thought God gave it to us for free. So this teaching, this tour, this guided collective pursuit of who God is and His plans and His purposes shouldn't be something that we have to pay for. It should come freely through the local church, if you will. And so what I've decided to do is over the span of the next who knows how long is to try to share with you what I learned through a systematic study of the scriptures. And all that means is that we're just going to bring in verses that kind of help us form our minds and our ideas and our worldviews about who God is, the world that we are living in, his purposes for the world in general, and in particular for us as his people, his plans and all how that unfolds for us. And I'm going to try to teach it in, get this, 3-minute segments. Now, I'm going to admit that this will be very difficult. It will be very difficult to try to put everything that I learned over these many years into 3-minute chunks, but I will do my best. And here's what I want you to do. I'm hoping 3 minutes isn't too much to ask of those of you who may enjoy this. And if a video goes beyond 3 minutes, just cut it off. Maybe you'll have an opportunity to go back later and catch up on anything, but I'm going to try my best to break it down into segments of 3 minutes, give or take, so that it'll be kind of digestible, if you will. Because trust me, a textbook like this can get pretty overwhelming when you look at the girth of it, if you will. But God never meant for his word to be intimidating, nor for it to be an impossible task to understand who he is, his plans, and his purposes for life. So again, I'm going to try to do it in 3-minute videos. I'll release them as I have opportunity to set up and to record, and I hope it benefits you. Because I will say at the end of the day, after my journey in higher education, I can say that as I learn more about who God is, his plans and his purposes, it resulted in a deeper and more vibrant and more active love in my heart for him. An overwhelming gratitude and joy for who he is and what he has done in my life, what he's doing in the world, what he's doing in the lives of those that I get the opportunity to have relationship with. And so again, I hope you'll enjoy it. I hope you'll join me. Let's take this journey together to study theology. Just the study of who God is, his plans, and his purposes. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you next time. God bless.